David McFarland joining us from the Crestwood boys soccer team here on the John Mendola Show. And David, got to see you guys play last week in a very, very tight game against Dallas area, and you guys came out on top. And hey, the playoffs are here, so you guys are ready to go. Let's first talk about how the season went overall for Crestwood.
Yeah, the season went really well, like much better than I expected actually. So we only lost one game against Dallas, and then we managed to beat them twice this year. So yeah, the season's going really well. I'm really happy. Now, as you said, the playoffs start, so that's going to be the new chapter starting on Wednesday, and hopefully we'll go all the way to state this year.
You talk about this team and the district. What is going well? Let's go over to the defensive side. Who are some players for you this year that have stepped up, whether it's a guy in goal or you have a couple there possibly,
yeah, we do,
or some defenders as well?
Yeah, unfortunately our goalkeeper number one got injured this year, so Aiden just got hurt, and now it's Anthony in goal, and he's been amazing. He's a senior also, and he's done an amazing job. But then the defense in general, like we have the starting four, we have 3 seniors also, so a lot of experience in defense, and yeah, they've just shown a lot of leadership. They're the oldest guys on the team, and yeah, the skill level is good, but it's also off the field. They're amazing leaders, so that helps a lot for sure.
Take us over through the midfield and some of the forwards that you have, guys that they're able to finish some of those plays.
Yeah. So in the midfield we have Yano, who's one of the main leaders in the midfield, and then up top we have Sean Murphy and Hubert Herrera, who both of them have scored a lot of goals. So between the 3 of them, Yano, Hubert, and Sean, with Czechs also, who's not too far behind. All 4 of them have scored a lot for us this year. My guess is over 30 goals between the 4 of them. So, yeah.
How about the positives of this team, whether it's chemistry or ball skill or awareness on the field? What are some things that you've noticed about this team that have made that positive impact with such a good season?
Yeah, so to be honest, I think we have a lot of individual talent, but the main strength of our team is really the team spirit. I think like the whole team has gelled very well together, has worked from day one. Everybody has worked very hard, and we don't exist without the team, and that's one thing that I want to bring to this team, and it's one thing that they really worked hard at developing over the last few months.
David, talking a little bit about your playing background, your coaching background, and how you landed at Crestwood.
Yeah, so I was born in Ireland, grew up in France, played more or less my whole life there, and then in 2010 I came to the U.S., played in college there in a fairly small school in Chicago, and won 2 national championships there. And basically following that season, my wife is from Pennsylvania, and so following that last season, I met with the head coach from Lancaster Bible College, and he offered me an assistant position there for a year. So I did that, and then my wife and I moved to Wilkes-Barre. When was this? 4 years ago, and Phil Wingert, the head coach at Wilkes University, offered me the position of assistant coach, which I did for 3 or 4 years there, and I really loved it. Learned a lot under his leadership and working with the college guys there in Wilkes University, and then this job opened up just this year. So this is my first year actually at Crestwood, and yeah, I really enjoy it.
Sounds like a really interesting story from where you're born to where you lived, and now somehow you find yourself in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Pretty
coaching.
uncommon.
Yes, sir. Well, continued success. Great to hear from you, and we wish you the very best through the playoffs.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Dylan Guessford joining us from the Crestwood boys soccer team. And Dylan, let's talk about, you guys have had some nice competition in the Wyoming Valley Conference, including Dallas, which you got to play a handful of times. Last week you guys had a big win over them in the conference championship. Talk about what that was like.
Oh yeah, it was a great experience. It's been a long time since we've won the conference championship. It's been since 1990s, around there. And Dallas is a good team. They've got a lot of good players, and so do we. We've got a great defense. We're just strong all around.
Talk about some players this year you felt really stepped up for your team. Whether it's some guys that are seniors or some underclassmen that you said, hey, he really worked hard in the off season. It really showed this year.
Okay. Yeah. Thomas Roberts is first off. He scored 2 major goals for us against Dallas, and he's a big part of our team this year. Max Gariano, he's got a lot of goals, a lot of assists. He's a really team player. Hubert Herrera, he leads the league in goals. He's got a lot of assists. Sean Murphy, again, he's on the leaderboard for goals and assists. We have a lot of players too who just make the team a lot. Like Peyton Glenn, he might not be all the way up on the score sheet, but he's a big part of the team. He's got a lot of passes, a lot of goal scoring opportunities for us.
What would you like to think that you contributed this year to the team? Because I'm sure you did something.
Yeah, this year I played, it was my first season as a center back, and I played center back this year. And I really liked it. I never played center back before, but I think I've done well there. And our defense is pretty good this year, so I like it back there.
You're a really good student in the classroom, 3.91. Talk about taking the academics so seriously.
Yeah, it's a lot, but this year we get to go to college on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we don't go into high school till late on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I'm able to get some academics done during that time frame in the morning. And then, of course, after practice, some nights I have to do some homework too.
Attending Temple University is the next step for you. Talk about, is that a slam dunk, or you're hoping that everything goes right, that's where you'll end up?
Yeah, I hope everything ends up like that. That's where my ultimate place is to go. I really like the city. I really like what they have there at Temple, and I like their business program. So that's where I want to go.
A lot of young men and women attend Temple from northeastern Pennsylvania, so hear a lot of good things about that. And let's talk about economics as a favorite subject. Why you enjoy that?
This year I like economics the most. I like talking about money and stuff like that, and I really like the teacher that we have, so it makes the class go by a lot better.
Nerve-wracking time. It's the playoffs, so you lose and you're done.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that to happen. But talk about you guys taking the approach one game at a time.
Yeah, we could come up against Valley West or Honesdale. We don't know anything about Honesdale, but Valley West, they've got a lot of key players that are very good, so that'll be a good game. And then after that, we don't know about Wall and Paupack. We've never seen them before, so I mean that would be a good game too. We don't know anything about them. And then Abington Heights is also in it, and they're a high seed in the team, and we only scrimmaged them, and that was at the beginning of the season, so I'm sure they've gotten much better. And so it should be a nice, exciting year of playoffs.
Dylan Gesford from the Crestwood boys soccer team. Dylan, we wish you the very best in your future endeavors. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Aiden Zabagalski joining us from the Crestwood boys soccer team here on the John Mendola Show. And Aiden, let's talk about you this season as one of the keepers. And what was your experience like with this group of guys this year?
Well, I've been on the team for 4 years now, and this is one of the best group of guys I've ever seen come through the Crestwood soccer program. So since the non-mandatory practices in the summer, I've been having fun with them all year, and I just know we're going to keep doing great things this year.
Let's talk about the other keepers that you're working with and everybody trying to make sure that they're ready for next up and all that different stuff. Talk about the guys that were with you this year and just trying to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, so we have 3 other keepers with us. After myself, we have Anthony Kowalczyk, who's assumed the role of the starting keeper this year, Anthony Caparuccio and Coat Holbrook, who we're all on a fairly level playing field, so I don't have a problem with, or no one else on the team, handing over control to those guys.
Let's talk about defense in front of you and having guys that make good decisions and are sound players. Talk about some of those guys in front of you.
Yeah, so our 2 center backs, Dylan Gesford and Johnny Olenek, they're 2 rather tall guys, which helps win balls out of the air. They're always aggressive. And 2 left and right backs, Tom Roberts and Josh Cinco, who surely like to run up and down the sidelines, keeping their mark. So that's always helpful to have as a goalkeeper.
How about the senior leadership overall this year? Talk about whether it's yourself being a vocal guy or a guy by example, how you fit in and how some of the other seniors fit in.
As a goalkeeper, you have to be very vocal, and I'm all comfortable around these guys, so it's easy to talk to them, and I've known everyone since I was young, so we all communicate very well and discuss everything that needs to be taken care of.
And of course, you got a younger brother, Quinn, and talk a little bit about him looking up to you or how you try to be a good role model for him.
He does follow the soccer path as I have and my dad, so we all play around sometimes, and we just try to keep it within the family. I hope he'll play too when he's older. You're
a serious student with a 3.8 GPA, so obviously life after high school is probably going to be something pretty darn good. Talk about what's next for you.
So I'm actually already accepted into Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. That's a aviation school in Daytona Beach, Florida, and working hard in high school. And I'm actually doing flight training now at the Wyoming Valley Airport, working on my private license. So working hard at both of those has earned me an education there, and I eventually would like to be a commercial pilot once I graduate from Embry-Riddle.
It's awesome to hear. Talk about how you were inspired to do that.
No one in my family is really into aviation, but I've always liked going on family vacations and flying on airplanes, so I thought it'd be something that I could do for the rest of my life.
That sounds awfully cool. There's no doubt about it. And talk about a role model.
Role model, obviously, as a pilot. Chesley Sullenberger, the Miracle on the Hudson pilot, who landed a plane without any engines on the Hudson. So, good movie and a good guy to look up to.
All right, I like it. Pretty cool. Never had that one before. Let's talk about some things that you guys do to try to keep it real, having fun off the field, on the field. So, what are some fun stuff you guys do?
Just about every practice, or even before games. Sometimes me and my fellow goalkeepers, we warm up by playing taps over the field goal post, where we're just having fun, messing around, getting loose for the game, and we all hang out outside of soccer, have team pasta parties, just build bonds with each other, and that way we can take it to the field.
All right, Aiden, well, we really wish you the best, Daytona Beach. I know a lot of us would wish we were there at times, but sounds like you have a nice career path planned out for yourself. We wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Anthony Kowalczyk joining us from the Crestwood boys soccer team here at the John Mendola show. And Anthony, let's talk about being a senior and playing keeper. And you guys got a couple keepers.
Yeah.
So a lot of
kids.
A lot of talent. But what's it been like for you in facing some of the pressure?
This is my first year playing ever since I was like 8. I'm glad to get back into it. But I have a good time with my other goalkeepers, Aiden Zabagalski and Anthony Caparucio, and also Coat Holbrook. We're just a good group of kids. We have a lot of fun, and when we need to be serious, we're serious. So.
Could be four of the most talented keepers that we know, right? I mean, guys all have some talent.
Yeah, no, we all do.
Let's talk about some other sports. You play baseball and wrestling.
Yeah, our baseball team is actually looking to be very good this year. We have 16 returning seniors, and last year we actually made it to the district championship but lost to Wallenpaupack Pack, so that was upsetting, but we're looking forward to this year.
Wrestling, how tough is that?
It's a grind, I'll tell you that. We practice every day. We run a lot. I mean, it's fun. I do it to stay in shape. Our team's also looking very good this year, hoping to win the district chip. So.
Nobody ever says I do wrestling to stay in shape. You love wrestling or not, so you're really crazy for doing wrestling to stay in shape. Talk about your team and Coach Testa there at Crestwood.
Testa's a very good coach. His assistant, Paul Ashton's also a very good coach. They were very good wrestlers when they were younger. Testa just keeps us in the groove. Our teammates keep us in the groove. We're looking to have a really good year this year. So.
Well, let's talk about, you got some siblings, so tell us a little bit about Avery and Olivia.
My sister Avery is 15, she's a freshman this year, and my sister Olivia is 21. She just turned 21 in August. So.
Biology is something you enjoy, so tell us a little bit about that.
Biology, I just find it really fascinating. I took Bio 1 and Bio 2, and I just find it very interesting, and I'm very interested in it. So.
Another good student, a 3.65. You want to go to Temple?
Yeah.
Major in engineering, be part of the Naval ROTC. Talk about how that all kind of came about.
Actually, when I was younger, my childhood friend, his dad, got me into it. He did exactly what I'm trying to do, and he would talk to me about it, and it seemed really interesting to me, and I'm looking to follow that up in my future.
Let's talk about the role models in your life.
My biggest role model is probably my dad. I mean, he helps me through a lot, and he just helps me be like the kid I am today. So.
And as far as soccer-wise, you guys hitting that field, it's playoff time, so pressure will just get a little bit more. What are you guys looking forward to now?
Winning the district championship. That's our main goal, game by game, but we're hoping to win it this year.
What have you seen from this team this year that makes you think that can happen?
Just great. Our passing is great, thanks to our coach. We have a lot of potential with great players, Hubert Herrera, Sean Murphy, and Max Gariano up front, and then Dylan Gesford, Thomas Roberts, and Joshua Cinco in the back, and a freshman, Johnny Olnick, who helps us back there too.
All right, Anthony, well, sounds like you got a neat plan with Temple and the Naval ROTC. We wish you the very best, and have a great run through the playoffs.
Thank you.
Javain Baker joining us from the Crestwood soccer team here on the John Mendola Show. And Javain, you find your way to northeastern Pennsylvania via Jamaica. So talk a little bit about what life was like in Jamaica for you.
Life was pretty average in Jamaica. You grew up in a nice neighborhood. Things were okay, but there's always more opportunities in America. So my mom got offered a job, and she took it, and we've been here since January. And that's how I got enrolled in Crestwood. I've been playing soccer with the boys ever since.
You got to experience your first blizzard, I'm sure, in your life.
Yeah.
in March of this year. Talk about coming in and seeing all that snow. What was that like?
That was not fun. The cold it's something. Something to get used to.
How about soccer itself in Jamaica? What was that like, and how serious do students such as yourself take soccer?
Soccer is the second biggest sport in Jamaica. Only track and field is above it, but it's not very much above it.
How about your skills coming from Jamaica and probably different than maybe some of the players you've met in high school? What do you think you bring to your team as far as skill-wise with the soccer ball?
I think I bring a lot of speed going forward, and I'm good at passing.
How about getting to know some of these guys on your team and learning a little bit about the culture here in northeastern Pennsylvania, and they're getting to learn a little bit about your culture as well?
Yeah, they always poke fun at me about it.
How about your sister and getting to adjust with her here in America, and what that has been like as well?
She settled in better, a lot better than me. She makes friends very easily. Me, I'm more quiet. I make friends through soccer.
And a petroleum engineer is something you're thinking about next. Talk about where you would like to go to school, or are you still just wide open about where that may be?
I'm still thinking about it. The best place to go is Texas, but that's still long of a trip, so I'm trying to find somewhere here.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit about taking school seriously and what kind of student are you? Talk about how you approach school.
I put 100% in every single time. That's why I have a 4.0 GPA.
Awesome. Great to hear. How about history is one of your favorite subjects, and how did history differ in Jamaica compared to maybe if you're learning history this year at Crestwood?
In Jamaica, it's more just the world. But when you come to America, they focus a lot on American history.
As far as some of your favorite players, Lionel Messi, talk about what you enjoy about his game and why you look up to him.
He's just a king. He does it all.
Well, Javain, we're hoping you do it all for your Crestwood team along with the rest of your players, and we wish you the very best through the playoffs. It's great to get to know you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thomas Roberts joining us from the Crestwood boys soccer team here on the John Mendola Show. And Thomas, let's talk a little bit about your position left back, and you got some experience back there with you. Take us through some of those defenders and how you guys have performed this year.
We switched it around a lot. We've lost two center backs. We had Curtis Tokash and Nick Andrews, and switching from them, they were really good, so we had to kind of adjust. And in the beginning of the season, we really weren't sure what we were going to do, but we were able to figure out who would be the best players to put there, and it really worked in our favor because I feel like we definitely have the strongest back line this year.
Guys have been able to score. You got to be able to do that. Of course, you were a guy that scored last week. It ended up being the game winner, and you had a couple key goals this year. One of your teammates mentioned that. Talk about just finding a way to get a score when you can, and you were able to come up with a great opportunity.
I just try to push up when I can and give the offense a little bit of a boost. I mean, giving them more to attack really gives us numbers, and it helps. And to be honest, the goals that I have scored in big games have really been luckier goals, but I've really been I mean, I really don't know what to say. They were good goals, but I mean, I wasn't intending on either of them to go in. But I would take it because Dallas is our rival, and we really always just want to beat them.
You played club soccer just about your whole life, so talk about your passion that you've had for soccer and playing with maybe some of the guys on your team or with guys that play in other high school teams and just being around the sport so much.
Yeah, I've known a lot of the guys on the Crestwood team for 10 years or so because we all played when we were younger in the same league. We started out with recreational soccer, and then we moved to clubs. We started out like Genell or Wyoming Valley. And from there, as those clubs developed, we developed really good teams and, special bonds with each other. And we ended up just taking those teams to the potential. But, as all teams come to an end at some point, so we had to move. And now most of the boys on the Crestwood team play for Northeast Attack, which is a really good team now.
You're also playing some lacrosse. Talk about being introduced to that here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Kind of hit a little while ago, and usually those who play it really enjoy it. What do you like about it?
I like that you could be good at one specific thing and still be very helpful for the team. Like me, especially, all I do is face off, which is after goals and before halves, you go out with the guy from the other team and you face off, and it's basically a speed match. Whoever's faster will usually win it. Whoever's more physical, you got to be really aggressive. My skills with the stick aren't very good, but my ability to be fast really helps me out on the field and gives me the opportunity to play.
Physicality, something you did a long time ago, some wrestling, that's something that you probably enjoy with that physicality. But boy, seeing high school soccer and how physical it is, talk about tackling and different things in the game of high school soccer, especially against a rival like Dallas. You guys really went after each other.
Yeah, physicality in high school sports is always evident. It's always there. Aggression is really important. Teams that play passive usually don't end up going far because they never have the ball. You always have to be physical. If you don't play physical, you'll just get hit off the ball every time. Wrestling was helpful. I mean, I developed a lot of good movement, and I don't know, my feet got a lot faster. But especially in soccer, if you go one-on-one, you can never get hit off the ball because then you just sit on the bench because you won't be good enough.
You enjoy probability and statistics right now. You carry a 3.95 grade point average, so you're a serious student. Talk about just trying to get through high school, doing the right stuff, and then maybe taking it to the next level.
Yeah, I'm pretty big into math. Problem stats definitely my favorite because I like the probabilities and statistics, the chance of certain things, especially in card games. I love to play them. You can always win at any point, pretty much. But I really don't. I'm not huge on a lot of other subjects. Math has always just been my strong suit. I've always been able to calculate numbers really well.
As far as that next place you're going to go, is that still wide open as far as what you may want to do, where you want to travel, what kind of school you want to go to?
Yeah, I haven't really decided if I want to go to a big or small school yet. I've really just been looking at local schools, but I'm pretty much open to options. I plan to major in computer science because it's always been a passion that I had.
Role model, Thomas Mueller?
Yeah, professional soccer player. He plays for Bayern Munich. I've always loved watching him play. He's always been fun, and it's kind of a nickname I got from one of the Crestwood seniors a couple years ago, and it's kind of just stuck with me.
What will you guys need to do, the key, or there's one or two things through the playoffs to keep playing one more game?
It'll have to be to just play our game. If we go to other people's games and like to play this long ball, we'll never win. The way we win games is we possess the ball and we move it and then find the opening and attack it.
Well, I hope that works for you, Thomas. Appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Joshua Cinco joining us from the Crestwood boys soccer team. And Joshua, let's talk about where do you play on the field and what have you done this year for the Comets?
I play right back and I try to move the ball well and just play good defense and keep the ball out of our net.
Talk about being a senior and trying to be a leader. What do you do in that category?
Just be vocal, help out the guys, and just be a good teammate.
overall, you guys have faced Dallas a couple of times, really good stiff competition. You don't know who you're going to face in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It could be one team upsets another or whatever.
Yeah.
Live the fight another day. Talk about what you think your mentality is going into the playoffs.
It's my last year, so I'm giving everything I got because it could be the last time I get on the soccer field. So 100% every single game, giving it everything I got.
What do you like about your own team?
We're all best friends and we don't really fight, and when we do, it just stops after like 3 seconds. And we just all realize that like we gotta be like together as a team. That's how we're gonna win.
A couple of subjects in school you really enjoy: math, entrepreneurship. Talk about what you enjoy about them, or maybe it's a teacher you like.
Well, I like business, and I always like going down that route. Like that's just what I enjoy. Like maybe starting my own business as entrepreneurship. So that's why I like those classes.
3.8 grade point average, so you're doing the job in the classroom.
Yeah.
Temple University is a goal for you. Talk about what you think you're going to like about Temple University, whether you visited the campus or know some people there.
I love the campus, and they have sports management, and that's the #1 class in the nation, so that would be a great school to further my education. And I love the city. It's a great place. So like senior year, they do a lot of like you get jobs in the city and just take a train or whatever, and then it's really good with a lot of stuff.
Let's talk about the folks and how they have influenced you to be the guy that you are.
They always, make sure everything's done in school first. Then I can have fun with friends, but always like have fun, enjoy the game, but never miss a practice and just give everything like it's your last game.
So many seniors here that have had an important role. How about some underclassmen this year that you think have played well or stepped up their game a little bit?
Nick or Jerry, it just shows heart over height. When he comes in every time, he gives it 115%. Same with Michael Shakalski. He's a great player and does great things for us.
All right, Michael, Joshua, you ready? I'm just wrapping this up here. Joshua Cinco from the Crestwood boys soccer team. Good luck in the playoffs. We appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you very much.
Sean Murphy joining us. He's a junior striker on the Crestwood boys soccer team. And Sean, let's talk about your role this year. And obviously, scoring goals always helps, but you may get a couple assists in there as well. But talk about some guys up front for Crestwood and you guys being able to score one more than the other team.
Yeah, I think me, Max, and Hubert up top's a great 3 people up there. We score, we pass well, and we have a lot of people on the wings that give us nice crosses in, like Peyton, Justin Sterling.
Let's talk a little bit about Coach McFarland and
Coach,
his mix up there with the guys on the field and making sure he's got the right formula working.
Yeah, he does. He helps us by a lot of our passing. We gained a lot of skill this year because we do a lot of passing drills in there, and he has a great setup up there, and we just pass the ball. Finishing drills. Every
coach brings a little different style. And talk a little bit about Coach McFarland as far as, from another country, and then he coached a little bit, and then, he did a good job in college with some national championship stuff. So he definitely brings a different flair. What is it about the game, maybe from Europe, that he brings, you think?
Like that we do a lot more conditioning. Like this year we can keep up with the running a lot, and it's just that he helps us, and I don't know how to explain it. He's just a really good coach and brings a lot to the table.
You're a basketball, lacrosse guy as well. Talk about whether you do those for fun or you're pretty darn serious about them.
I'm more serious about basketball, and lacrosse is just a fun sport that I like to play.
Morgan Murphy is a senior.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about Morgan and what she's all about.
She's very good at field hockey and softball, and she's just a great person to be around with. She helps me practice sometimes, and she's just a great athlete.
All right, got to meet her just a couple of weeks ago, and a nice young lady. You got that right about your sister. Let's talk about one of your favorite subjects in high school.
Biology, because I have a great teacher and he helps me, and I like to learn about like the heart and everything, know about the body.
Let's talk about your folks and their influence on you in life.
They give me, they're great role models, and they help me. They push me to my limits, make sure that I'm keeping on school and sports, and I'm keeping on the right path. And they do
it's
that
just your junior year, so you got to be thinking, okay, hey, I still got some time to think about college, but do you have an idea yet as far as maybe a year from now what you may want to start thinking about?
I haven't been looking at colleges, but I like sciences and everything and math, and I'm just thinking about that stuff.
How about this senior group of guys as far as their foundation and what they've tried to do with you guys?
They're great leaders. They help us. They tell us what to do sometimes, which is good. And they're just great people to be around the whole season.
Sean, great to catch up with you. We wish you the best through the playoffs.
Thank you.
Hubert Herrera joining us from the Crestwood boys soccer team here at the John Mendola show. And Hubert, the playoffs are here, so you guys need to be at your A game. Do you feel like you've played your best soccer yet out there as a team?
I feel like we played many great games, but we still have a lot more in us. We do.
Talk about your role on the team and how you kind of complement the rest of the players.
Well, the team, we really just play together very well, and we get the ball up, and then we all push up as a team, and we just score from there.
Talk about your growing up with soccer. Of course, your dad involved with soccer, you're involved with soccer, so it's been in the family, and you wouldn't know any different. So take us through you growing up and loving the game.
Oh boy, since I can remember, it's just been soccer. I love it. I mean, it's the only thing I've ever done. I can't imagine myself doing anything else. So my dad, he has his own club, so obviously I've been around soccer my entire life. But I don't mind it. I love soccer.
It's your junior year. You got a lot of seniors in front of you guys, and talk about what you think they've done, whether it's, kind of put the other guys in place, saying, hey, here's how we do it, or is it more they teach a little bit about some stuff? Do they get after guys with some rah-rah stuff?
Yeah, I've done all of these seniors since I've played. I played with all of them since I was 5, 6, and they've all just done it amazing. I mean, they've all been doing the same thing they've been doing for years. It's a great job out there.
Being a striker, let's talk about some guys and their ability to score for Crestwood. You're one of them, but talk about some of the other players around you too.
Oh boy, just give Sean the ball. Anyone in the air, he's got a goal. I gotta say, one person I'm really impressed by is Johnny Olenek. He's a freshman coming up this year, center back. Solid, strong kid. I would, without a doubt, come back in 3 years, 4 years just to see him play a senior year.
Let's talk about some of your siblings and how you get along with them.
Oh boy, well, I have a twin sister, Melissa Herrera. She also plays soccer for Crestwood, and an older sibling, Mariana Herrera. She played for the Peru international team. And just soccer's been in our family. We always support each other all the time. So yeah, there's no competition. We all support each other.
Physics, something that you enjoy in
I
school?
really like physics, yeah.
Pretty tough subject.
It is. There's a lot of stuff. It's just like problem solving. So once you get that, like simple algebra 2, and you're fine for the class.
3.7 grade point average, so you do a nice job in school. Let's talk about the life after high school, what you're thinking of doing, and is soccer going to be on that part of it?
I hope soccer will be on there, but my goal is just go in college. For me, academics right now is probably should be more important.
Messi, talk about what you like about him.
He has every right in the world to just be the cockiest player ever, but he's so humble. He's the best in the world, I think, and you will never see him brag or anything.
Playoffs are here, so you guys, it's losing, you go home. What do you think keeps you going one game at a time? What's going to be the difference in the game, whether it's heart, whether it's skill, whether it's team unity?
I think for us it's heart. We play, we put 100% into every game, and for me, I just want to give all I have for my seniors.
Coach McFarland.
We all feel the same way.
Probably do. Coach McFarland probably has a little different twist of soccer and his background. Different than maybe you or maybe some other players. But talk about him being able to try to make sure you guys are all doing the right things this year.
Well, without our coach, I feel like we wouldn't have made it as far as we did. Like we're not having such a great game, and he would just switch us around, and from there on we would win.
Well, we appreciate your time, Hubert. Congratulations on a fabulous season, and there's still more soccer to be playing there at Crestwood. We wish you the best.
All right, thank you.
Max Gariano joining us from the Crestwood boys soccer team here in the John Mendola show. Another junior and center attack, midfield. Take us through what you've done this year on the field for Crestwood.
Well, basically in my position, I have to take over the game. I really have to take control. So I'm kind of the playmaker. So I would take the ball from the defense and let the forwards do their thing.
Physicality, something that we've seen a little bit more over the years in high school soccer.
Yeah, in the midfield especially, you got to be strong and all. Well-balanced player. So strength is definitely a thing when 1v1s. You're receiving the ball. Don't check your shoulder. And a player comes to hit you, got to be able to stay on your feet and be able to make the play. Talk about what it's been like going against Dallas. It's Dallas. It's always a good time, It's always a good game. You never know what Sharp's going to do with his players. But we always give that fight back, just like we were doubted this year, and now we're up 2-1 in the series out of them. You don't know what's going to happen as we get through these playoffs, who that next team is going to be. Talk about having a one-game approach every time and just trying to focus, and that's not easy to do, because all of us try to look ahead one step. But talk about just trying to make sure you guys are focused. Well, yeah, every time in soccer, you got to take games one by one. So our next game is Honesdale. Well, the winner of Honesdale versus Valley West. I think Valley West will get that one. And yeah, we're looking to play them at our home field with our student section.
You're a very good student, almost a 4.0, 3.9. So you're real serious about your studies. Talk about that dedication there.
Well, I'm a student athlete. Student comes first. So like before practice or anything, I'll get my homework done first. And then like even after a game, if I have a big test the next day, we're always studying.
Let's talk about your goals after high school. Again, it's your junior year. You have some big goals. You want to play big-time soccer.
Yeah, well, like through the year, I've been playing club for like my whole life, basically. And like every month, I'm getting at least 4 invitations to like Division I ID camps. So I think I can have a future in a Division I program at a big-time school. I would also like to study physical therapy there and make my career from there.
How about having fun with club soccer? A lot of travel involved with it.
Yeah, it's like in a couple of weeks we have to go to Virginia for a tournament. Like Thomas Roberts and Dylan Gessert, who are on Crestwood, they're also on that club team. And that's a real powerhouse team, yeah.
Well, should be fun, Max. We appreciate your time, and sounds like you got a really interesting future. Good luck through the playoffs.
Thank you.